Good morning, dear students. We're going to continue with a little bit of our grammar portion. From the last class, you'll have already uh, been introduced to a few topics of grammar. So let's continue. I hope all of you will have your grammar textbooks, page number 16, lesson number 5. Two verbs, infinitives. Now, what is an infinitive? To remember very easily, class, it's nothing but to with a verb. Okay, like for example, to jump, to run, to laugh, to cry. Okay, all these are infinitives. The to form of the verb is a non-finite verb. What does that mean? It means that it is a verb whose form does not change whenever the tense of the sentence changes. Like I just told you, to laugh, to cry. Even if the tense of the sentence changes, it will still remain the same. These are known as infinitives. Now, what are the functions? I have given you a few examples here from your text. To believe is to know. To believe, it is the subject of the sentence. To believe is to know, complement of the verb is in the sentence. He wanted to know more about the subject. Again, object of the verb wanted. He studied to know more about the subject. Here it is modifying the verb studied. Okay, so just remember, very easy, infinitives is to plus verb. Now, very often the to form of the verb is used with to, T-double-O, to form a correlative pair showing result. In such sentences, one can replace the adverb to with so and replace the to part with a that clause also showing result. Okay. Now here in the example, the biscuit was too hard to bite. Okay, so when you have to change or remove to, you use so. The biscuit was so hard that it could not be bitten, so it changes into a negative sentence. The next example here, this shirt is too torn to be mended. So if you have to remove to, this shirt is so torn that it cannot be mended. Okay, I've given you a small little picture here as well. To the use of to and too. When are they used? All right, next one we come to participle gerund, that is gerund, and the ing form. Okay, so verbs ending in ing form are non-finite verbs. We've just understood what non-finite verbs mean. That is, whose form does not change even when the tense of the sentence changes. For example, he is studying is in the present tense. He was studying. So studying, like I told you, studying is the verb at the ing verb which does not change even though the tense of the sentence changes. Okay, now the ing form of the verb used as a noun is known as a gerund. A gerund basically is a verb, the ing form of a verb, but when you read it in the sentence, it is performing the function of a noun. Okay, for example, here I have given you swimming is a very healthy exercise. What is a healthy exercise? Whenever you ask a sentence the question what and you get an answer, it is a noun. Reading is a good habit. What is a good habit? Reading. So since we know that swimming and reading both are verbs, but yet in the sentence it is performing the function of a noun, therefore they are known as gerunds. The ing form of the verb used as an adjective. Be careful, class, we're talking about verb being used as an adjective. A verb being used as a noun is a gerund. A verb being used as an adjective is known as the present participle. For example, here grandfather uses reading glasses. Okay, what type of glasses does grandfather use? It is giving us a description of the glasses, that is reading glasses. We know reading is a verb, but in the sentence it is performing the function of an adjective. All right, right on top I've given you the definition of infinitive again, okay, with examples: to eat, to jump, to sleep. All right. Next, we come to modal auxiliaries. Now, modal auxiliaries are nothing but helping verbs. Okay. A modal auxiliary is a helping verb that helps the main verb to convey some other meaning or aspect such as ability, possibility, permission, necessity, etc. Now, here I have given you this table from your textbook itself. Okay, if you read the sentences, you will realize that each of these modal auxiliaries are conveying a certain meaning. Okay, for example, the first one, I can play the violin. Can, of course, is a modal auxiliary. It is a verb, it is helping the main verb in the sentence, that is play. Okay, so I can play the violin, which shows that the child is able to play a violin, therefore showing ability. I cannot play the violin. Cannot, of course, is showing that they cannot, therefore it is showing non-ability or inability to play the violin. Similarly, I want all of you all to read the remaining of these sentences. So you need to remember that modal auxiliaries, first and foremost, what are modal auxiliaries? They are helping verbs. Examples of these verbs are am, is, are, was, were, have, has, had, can, could, shall, should, may, might. All these are examples of modal auxiliaries. Now here in the third sentence, I may or might play the violin at her party, which means that it is showing a possibility. It is possible that I may play the violin. You may play the violin, that means it is showing permission. Okay, if can I, and then you say you may play the violin, so therefore giving permission to the child to play. I could play the violin if he agrees. That is showing that I have the possibility and the ability to play. I would play the violin some evenings. So, would meaning in the past. I would like to learn to play the violin in the future. So, therefore, future intention. You should learn to play the violin. Someone is giving you advice, therefore, giving the meaning or an aspect of advice. You should be able to learn the violin easily, meaning certainty. That means in the future you will definitely know how to play the violin. You must learn to play the violin. Must showing compulsion, that it is compulsory for you to learn. And the last one is you can't play the violin when others are sleeping, showing prohibition. Prohibition means that you are not given permission to play when others are sleeping. Right? Now, transformation of sentences using or removing modal auxiliaries. Now, these kind of questions can easily come in your paper. So, we will give you what you need to rewrite the sentence using which word, and therefore you have to, without changing the meaning of the sentence, you have to change the sentence using the word that we have given you. For example, I can draw quite well. Rewrite using able. So how would you write it? I am able to draw quite well. We have taken out the modal auxiliary can, and we have written the sentence using able. Next, I can't draw in this light. Rewrite using possible. It is not possible for me to draw in this light. Next, you may draw whatever you like. Rewrite using permission. So I give you permission to draw whatever you like. Alright, so the last one, he would probably draw a portrait. He might draw a portrait. So you should be able to change the sentence along with what word we have given you. Now on page 21 you have a do as directed. The first one is given to you. We'll just do the second. We cannot get rid of him. Rewrite using unable. So here we have to write we are unable to get rid of him. Okay, next we come to prepositions. Now you'll already know that preposition is a part of speech. Okay, a preposition is a word that shows the relation between another word and a noun phrase or a pronoun that follows it. For example, I wrote to Amaya. The preposition to shows the relation between the verb wrote and the noun amaya. I wrote to the chief engineer. The preposition to shows the relation between the verb wrote, it is a verb, right, and the noun phrase chief engineer. So who was it written to? I wrote about him. The preposition about shows the relation between the verb wrote and the pronoun him. We visited the gateway of India. Here the preposition of. Okay, it's showing the relation between the nouns gateway and India. We reached right on time. The preposition on shows the relation between the adverb right and the noun time. Everyone, including the king, stood up. The preposition including shows the relation between the pronoun everyone and the noun phrase the king. Alright, now I've given you a small little video here on prepositions. I just want you all to pay attention. You will understand more clearly.
Prepositions. A preposition is a word that shows the relation between a noun or a pronoun and some other words in a sentence. A preposition is placed before a noun or a pronoun. Different prepositions show different relations. Sometimes the prepositions indicate where someone or something is. Such prepositions are called prepositions of place. For example, Nikki is standing against a wall. Here, the preposition against shows where Nikki is.
Sometimes the prepositions indicate when an event happens or happened.
Such prepositions are called prepositions of time. For example,
Ricky swims on Saturdays.
here the preposition on indicates when an event happens. Prepositions also indicate the direction in which someone or something comes or goes. Such prepositions are called prepositions of direction. For example, Nikki is throwing a ball at them. Here, the preposition at indicates
Direction in which the ball is thrown.
Okay, I hope that you all have understood what prepositions are and how to identify them in a sentence. There is an activity given to you on page number 22. The first one's already done. To believe, the second one, to believe is to see angels dancing among the clouds. To believe and to see, here we see that both of these are infinitives, but dancing among the clouds, so it is showing the relation between the nouns and the object. Okay, so therefore among would be your preposition. All right, now for your homework, these lessons that we have just completed, 5, 6, 7 and 8, these 4 lessons, please complete your exercises in your grammar textbooks. All right, and with that we come to the end of our lesson. Thank you class, God bless you all and have a wonderful day.